Hi, I'm Callie and welcome to Kapowski Reads and welcome to my October TBR game and also books I want to read in October, because there is a lot more than just my TBR game. I like to start my TBR videos. If this is the first one you've ever seen from me, hi. I will pop a link up to my TBR game playlist, but it is a super straightforward game. Roll dice, move cat, prompt, pick book. Nice and simple. I like to start every TBR video by reviewing my last month to see if I actually read the books that I said I was going to. So I had a very nice handful of books to read for September. I had 4 books, and the first book was a book that would help me towards one of my reading goals. And I decided to pick a book from my 2025 priority pile. I went with Shadow Coven by S. Isabel, and I'm not quite finished this. I'm a third of the way through it, but I'm having a great time so far, and I'm filming this quite early. Am I? Not really. I'm filming this on Friday. This video is going up on Sunday, so not early, but there's a lot of time left in the month. It's a YA book. It's a very generous font. I will have this finished by the end of September. I've absolutely no doubt. The next book was a reread of a favourite, and I went with Plain Bad Heroines, which I reread and I loved. The most amusing part of this was that my friend was reading this, still is, absolutely hating it, not having a good time at all, but I had a great time, so one of us enjoyed it. Next was a favourite genre. I went with Milk Fed by Melissa Broder. I do have a reading vlog for this book. This kind of fits into the weird girl literary fiction genre. Is that even really, that's a thing? It's a thing I like. I really like this book. I had a great time. I gave it 4 stars. And the last book from my September TBR was a seasonal read. So I went with Breathe In, Bleed Out by Brian Macaulay. And this was such a good time. Again, I have a reading vlog for this. And again, I gave it 4 stars. So let's get on to my October rules and see what books are going to make it onto the official TBR. And then I will tell you about the other books I plan to read, because October is gonna be a busy one. Rule number 1 is a 3. 1, 2, 3. Pink. New to me author. Rule number 1 is a new to me author. I'm going with Woman Eating by Claire Codda. I've never read anything by this author, and all I know about this is that it focuses on a woman who is really struggling to eat. All she can consume is blood. So I'm thinking, are we having a vampire story or is it something else? I don't know. All I know is this sounds really good. I want to read it, and I'm going to. It's very shiny. It's a library book, so the sun is glaring on it. Rule number 2, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's another Pink, which is a book over 500 pages. Oofed. Rule number 2 was another pink prompt, and this was a book over 500 pages. I thought I had a lot of these on my TBR, but it turns out a lot of the bigger books I have are either lots of appendices at the end or are just under 500 pages. So I actually only really had a very small selection from which to choose, and I'm going with King Sorrow by Jo Hill. This is a NetGalley book. It is 896 pages according to NetGalley, and it comes out on the 21st of October. So I think that kind of feels right. This focuses on a student who is forced by a gang to steal books from the university library, and he doesn't want to do that, so he joins with his friends and they summon a dragon called King Sorrow, and that they're like, hey, this dragon's gonna help us, and I'm like, really? Is the dragon gonna do you a favor for nothing? No, the dragon isn't. The dragon wants more. There is a price to be paid, and things happen. I don't know what things. There's 896 pages. There will be many things, I assume. Rule number 3, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. A yellow. Fewer than 3 colours on the cover. Rule 3 was a yellow prompt, a book with 3 or fewer colours on the front cover. I'm going with Monstrilio by Gerardo Samano, which I know is about a lady who, in the grief of losing her child, consumes part of her child, a bit of the lung, and like nurtures a creature that grows from that. And then the, for lack of a better phrase, lung baby goes off and does some things. That's it. I know no more, but I'm intrigued. And I've seen a lot of conflicting reviews of this. So I'm really interested to see how I fare with it. And it sounds really good. So let's see. Rule number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Green. A hardback. Rule number 5 is a 19. There are not 19 spaces left. So that's it. Sorry, I keep coughing, so the editing on this is going to be really jumpy. The air is cold and my lungs are made of good intentions, so I'm a bit coughy. I apologise for the jumpiness. The last book on my TBR for October is a hardback. How could I not put We Love You Bunny by Mona Awad? Has to be done. I love Mona Awad. This is a prequel to Bunny, which is one of my favourite books. The sun's just disappeared. Hopefully the lighting's okay. I know no more about this book other than prequel to Bunny. That's all I need to know. I've read 3 books. 3? I think 3 books might be, it's not 4, 3, by Mona Awad. I have loved every one. 5 stars all around. So I have no doubt that this is also going to be a 5-star read. So my TBR from my game is nice and petite. Just 4 books, 3 physical, 1 ebook. But that's not all. Because October is a kind of weird month. Because I really want to get excited about all the Halloweeny things and read some creepy books. But it's also proper Gilmore Girls season. And I want to have a little bit more cozy reading time. I am planning, don't come for me if it doesn't happen, but I am planning to do a little bit of Vlogtober / Booktober. What are names for things anyway these days? And I'm planning to do a couple of extra videos during October, and I really want to do a Gilmore Girls reading vlog, or maybe a couple of them. I've got some plans, but it's all just dependent on, can I read a book in a couple of days? Who knows? I do have some books that I want to include in various videos that just haven't managed to squeeze in. So we're gonna see what happens. But I want to do some cozy reading, and then I want to do some more creepy reading. So I have a big old pile of other books I want to be able to fit on to my reading list for October, and I'm going to show you them, and then you can laugh at me for having such lofty goals, because there's only 31 days in October. I am one woman with a full-time job, and I don't know if I'm going to get through them all, but I'm going to have a great time trying. I'm going to start with my sort of Gilmore Girls books. I have 2 books by Lauren Graham, Lorelai Gilmore if you will, that I really would quite like to read. So I'm putting these on my list. I've got Someday Maybe, which I don't know too much about. I bought it because it was by Lauren Graham. And it was very cheap. I got it secondhand, as evidenced by the stickers on the back, which are cute. I like them, so I'm keeping them. And I have, in conclusion, don't worry about it. It's very, very short. I believe this is part of like a commencement speech that Lauren gave at a university. So it's short, I should get through it. I also have a couple of books that I think would be perfect if I do manage to do a Gilmore Girls reading vlog. Some books I think are kind of perfect for Lane. Basically I have some books that are about music, and how else could I theme that other than paying homage to Lane, who deserved so much more than what she got in the series. But if I do get to my Gilmore Girls reading vlog, I've got some books for Lane. I have a terrible habit of, I really do like to read kind of seasonally. And I have some books that I've put aside to read in October. So if I don't read them in October, they're going to get put aside again till next October. So I have got, this has been on my shelf, literally gathering dust. I had to brush dust off of it. Angelica Frankenstein Makes Her Match by Sally Thorne. This has been on my shelf since 2023. I planned to read it in 2023 and I didn't read it in 2024. Hopefully I'll read it in 2025. As far as I know, inspired by Frankenstein, and we're gonna have a romance. That's it. I know no more about this. I did know more, but then I forgot. So I'm not gonna go and look it up because I might get spoilers. I then have my kind of newer purchases. I have Feeding the Monster. This is a non-fiction basically about why we love horror. And I'm excited because I love horror. So I'd like to know why I like it, other than it's enjoyable and interesting. I'm sure there's more to it. I'm sure it's much more considered than that. And I have Brain Worms by Alison Rumfitt. This is a horrifying cover, but I think it's going to be very, very creepy and I want to make time for it in October. And I have a book that I got from work. We have a sort of book swap area where you can bring a book, leave a book, or just take a book. It's getting quite big now, so I think they just want people to take books. I have got The Gathering by CJ Tudor. This is about a town with a vampire issue, and I love vampire books, and I've had a few underwhelming vampire reads, so I think I'm gonna like this. I will be back in 2 secs. I have post. I am back, and look how adorable my post is. I saw this online a wee while ago, and my boyfriend got me the card of it. It's a little froggy Dracula, and I feel perfect. Arriving just before October. I love it. I'm gonna need to find somewhere to put it. That leads me nicely on to the last sort of section of my massive October reading plans. Rereads. I have a set number of books that I like to read every October because I love them. There is no other reason. I love them. And naturally, I would be starting with Dracula by Bram Stoker. This is, I saw like a meme. I'm gonna badly describe a meme. It's something about like, nothing quite like the hold a woman has on the mediocre book she read when she was whatever age. There's a meme that exists that is that, but with proper words in it. For me, that's Dracula. I read this when I was probably too young to read it, but I fell in love with it, and I have loved this book since I was 10 or so, something like that. It was primary school. I've been reading it every year and I love it. I just love it. So I'm going to be rereading this, and I'm going to be rereading Carmilla by Sheridan Le Fanu, which objectively is probably a better vampire story than Dracula, but I didn't read this when I was a child. I read this when I was a fully formed adult, so it doesn't have quite the hold that Dracula does on me, but it's a vampire classic. I'm here for it. And a book I will never stop raving about is Powers of Darkness, which is the lost Icelandic translation of Dracula. This book has an amazing story, which is basically that Dracula was translated into Icelandic, went on sale, sold for years and years. And then suddenly somebody discovered that the Icelandic translation of Dracula is not the same story as Dracula. It's very, very different. There's whole new characters. There's whole new events. It's a bit spicy. A labour of love to then translate the Icelandic translation back into English. Whole big event. And this is the book. It's very awkward to hold, but it's very interesting and I like to reread it because the fact that this book exists amuses me so much. And I also have a whole bunch of Kindle books that feel kind of autumnally. I've got some witchy romances, I've got some kind of paranormal books, but I feel bad in saying that I think my Kindle books maybe take lowest priority, even though I really want to read them in the season where they belong. I don't know if I'm going to get to them, and I want to really focus on the physical books that I have because they look at me. They look at me judgingly, whereas the Kindle doesn't look at me judging. Or maybe it does, but I don't notice. So I'm going to see if I can hold my October TBR to show you it. I don't think I can. Okay, I've been working out. I can hold them. Why did I pick them up this way? Right, this is my October TBR. I also have an ebook, and I have two books that I want to read that kind of work for Lane, which I didn't actually even tell you about. Oh, what a silly goose I am. So the other two books I have, if I do get to my Gilmore Girls reading vlog, I'm going to be reading Girl Power, which is a non-fiction about the 90s revolution in music, which feels so like a book Lane would enjoy. And my other, I think, Lane inspired book, because it's about music, is Vaguely Human Figures by Gina John. And it is about two artists, two musicians who kind of must pay the price for their ambition. And it sounds kind of dark, but super interesting. And okay, I'm clutching at straws thinking it's kind of Lane inspired because it's music. But look, I wanted to put it on my TBR, so here it is. Now I'm having problems holding them. This, I'm gonna have to go on my tippy toes. This plus an ebook is my hair is caught in here. My October TBR. This is not going well. I think that's my time to go. Let me know what your October reading goals are, and if you've read any of this giant pile of books, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.